Hello everyone, I'm Howard.
And this is Detective Quincy Brisco.
And you're watching
BATCAST!
All right, first of all, how's it going with you today, Quincy?
No, that's all right.
It's all right. It's a little cold out, huh?
Well, yeah, so cold that it not only reminds us of winter, it also reminds you of a certain character that's coming up here.
Ah, that's true, Detective. See, you're using that detective skill of yours, which I think is cheating, but whatever.
Well, yeah, you got to, otherwise you wouldn't be a good detective.
Alrighty, so we're going to continue with Batman, the animated series here. Season 2, where they rebranded it as The New Adventures of Batman and Robin. It's still the same show, for some reason. So one of the things that we talked about, oh God, when did we do that was last year. Mr. Freeze episode is that it goes in a narrative order. There's 5 parts of it. So part 1 was the first episode with Mr. Freeze, which was Cold Heart. And this episode we're watching today, Deep Freeze, is the second part. Then the third part is its own movie. The fourth part is in a sequel to this show called The New Adventures of Batman and Robin. And then the final part is in Batman Beyond. So we're going to watch part 2 so we can watch the movie, so we can then do The New Adventures of Batman and Robin, so that way we can finish with Batman Beyond, okay?
It's fine by me. I told you about The New Adventures of Batman. There was a certain villain.
Yep.
You know, that's what I grew up with, so I'll know it word for word.
Well, no, this is a different New Adventures of Batman and Robin.
Oh, all right, but we'll get into that one later on.
We'll get into that. So last time, Mr. Freeze was basically introduced as a tragic character. He was trying to cure his wife from a disease, and his CEO went, nah, this costs too much, and did what all all CEOs do, and try to ruin this man's life, which then turned him into Mr. Freeze, a character who cannot be in the warmth because his body is now basically ice at this point. You know, cold as hell, some people would put it, and he tries to get revenge on the people who did that to him, but Batman stops him with a glass of orange juice. Classic, you would say.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, a classic.
So we're gonna just go into this. So do you have any questions about Mr. Freeze?
Not yet. I'm sure I will. So I guess the only way I could put it, without further ado, we give you
Deep Freeze.
Deep Freeze.
Now this one I think should have a different opening.
Well, we'll find out soon enough.
Yep, different opening. See, because now Robin's more included in this show, so they rebranded it for some reason. I see you're already not enthused with this new opening.
Well, I gotta study what they have for an opening.
Well, do you like this more than the original?
Well, let's find out what it is right now.
You are finding out what it is. Do you like the original better or this one?
Right now, I'll say I like the original, but Batman's gonna make some kind of a bad entrance.
Of course. Well, yeah, that's what the Batman show is. Yes.
Right now, it's different because it's all freezing bad entrances.
All right, Deep Freeze. Look at that haunting title card.
Yeah.
So do you like Mr. Freeze as a character?
He was okay. It's what they have for villains. We can get to our favorite villains as time goes on.
Now, remember, I asked you, and you said you really liked what they did with Mr. Freeze in the show, how they made him kind of better. So do you hope that they could do that with other characters you were okay with, make them better?
I don't think they were ever going to rehabilitate a villain.
No. I mean, like the way they're shown in the cartoon, because you said he was an okay villain.
You mean you want the villain to be more nasty?
Yeah, or more entertaining for you to watch.
Oh, all right. Well.
Yeah.
Well, any villain could be more nasty than what they are. If they get more weapons, whatever, then it all depends on the villain.
That's true. So it looks like he's going to kidnap Mr. Freeze. Now, do you think it's interesting that they're going to kidnap a villain?
A little bit.
Because it looks like he doesn't want to go.
A villain that doesn't want to leave jail? Yeah.
Well, yeah, because remember, Mr. Freeze didn't want to be Mr. Freeze.
He didn't want to be Mr. Freeze.
He didn't want to. Remember, he was forced into being that by the CEO attacking him into chemicals and stuff.
Well, then he'll be a nasty villain.
He didn't want to be one. Who's that, Quincy?
That might.
But it was a robot. So how do you feel that Batmite's a little robot in this? It's not an actual character, it's a little toy.
Probably going to be the same thing as I learned from the series I picked up on Batmite. He's going to try and do his best, but they'll somehow screw up once in a while. And
Okay, Quincy, but Batmite was literally just a joke here. It's a toy. It's not even a character. It's a toy. It doesn't have a brain.
You asked me, and I gave you an answer.
Yeah, I'm saying, do you like the fact that it's a toy instead of a character?
Oh, all right, yeah. I guess, yeah.
Are you disappointed that Batmite isn't, doing anything? He's just a joke?
Well, let's see what happens if they create the toy to do with it good things, or if the toy's just going to, it all depends on how the toy's built. Mm-hmm. We'll have to see how he's built. Right?
That's true. So Mr. Freeze was literally kidnapped.
Kidnapped. Huh. And what strange things for a villain to be saying. Make sure that the guests are comfortable.
I know.
You got to acknowledge these things.
And to think all Mr. Freeze wanted to do was to serve his sentence like a good prisoner. So we're already getting more Robin. Now, I remember you said you liked this version of Robin, correct?
It sounds like almost like the original Robin. I like it. Yeah. Robin was angry, aggressive, but you know what? He has a right to be.
Of course.
He's a crime fighter.
He's a crime fighter.
That's one of the things I loved about Robin. Mm-hmm. He's angry, he's aggressive, he's like, you're up to no good. Why should I trust you? In other words, that's one of the things about Robin. He's out to get every piece of data he can pick up on. And
while having fun with Batman.
If you want to call crime fighting fun, yeah. But crime is not a good thing.
It's not a good thing, you're right. How did no one notice the giant island that's just hanging out of Gotham?
How do you know it?
No, how did people not see this?
I don't know. We'd have to look up on that.
Dude, if you were sitting in town and all of a sudden there's just a giant island that's just like chilling by the coast, you'd notice it, right?
If you're sitting by it, yeah. Yeah. But if you're not sitting by it, then...
Damn, he is not happy.
No, he's not.
He's kidnapped, and now he's going to be forced to do something stupid.
Every villain is not happy. They just want more. Ugh.
He just wanted to serve his jail sentence.
Seems to me every criminal, they just wind up going back to the penitentiary.
Remember, this version of Mr. Freeze wanted to be in jail.
He'll get his wish.
Yeah, but see, the old guy wants to be immortal like Freeze is, because Mr. Freeze is immortal, right? That's why he broke him out. And Mr. Freeze is not happy.
I told you just now, any villain, they're never happy. They're never satisfied. They just want more and more. They're very greedy, selfish, and then they're going to go up the river as they
look,
wish.
There's his wife. There's his wife. That's the wife he was trying to cure.
Yeah? They're going to go up the river as they wish.
You are not understanding the Mr. Freeze character. He doesn't want to be a villain.
He's doing it, though.
Not right now. He's being kidnapped. So Mr. Freeze is going to make this guy immortal just so Mr. Freeze can save his wife. What do you feel about that, Quincy?
A villain saving his wife? Yeah.
Quincy, that's the whole motivation of Mr. Freeze, is he wants to save his wife.
I suppose.
That's what I told you when he got when they changed his characters, that Mr. Freeze's only goal is to revive his wife because she has I don't know, mega cancer.
Well, at least he won't be a lonely villain. But they're both going to the penitentiary.
What did his wife do? She's dying, Quincy.
Nothing. It's just that she's stuck with a very sick individual. His name is Mr. Freeze.
The CEO made him like that. He didn't want to be Mr. Freeze. He just wanted to save his wife.
Well,
so what do you think of this guy? This guy wants to be immortal. Would you want to be immortal?
no.
Why not?
Immortal. What's the job of immortal?
Immortal means you live forever.
Sounds like a spiritual kind of thing.
No. No, he wants to physically stop aging and never die.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
Well, no. Would you want to do that?
No, I'd go home to heaven.
Mm-hmm. Because Mr. Freeze is now immortal. He didn't want to be, but he now is.
Good bat fight.
Good bat fight against the floating tops.
Yeah. I'm going to see some of Batman's...
Oh, this robot's kicking his butt. See what I mean, Quincy? Freeze doesn't want to do the bad things.
No, he just got roped into it.
Exactly. There's even, I think, the Batman Beyond plot is basically they put him in a robot suit and force him to do terrible things. And he's like, I don't want to do this.
But I figured you'd like to stick around and see the show. How are we doing? Ready. Let's do it.
So he's going to turn this old guy into Mr. Freeze, just like him. The old guy asked for it, by the way. Do you think that's a little weird?
Well, an old guy being Mr. Freeze?
Yeah, he wants to do it so he can be immortal.
Yeah, well, an old guy wanting to be a villain? Yeah, I guess you could call it a little bit weird.
A little weird. See, look, Mr. Freeze helped Batman. He's going to help Batman now.
That's a good thing.
See what I mean? He didn't want to be a villain. Well, this version of him, at least. So what do you think about that? A villain who never wanted to be a villain.
That's good. He's getting rehabilitated.
Exactly. And he gets reunited with his wife again, Quincy.
It's just another villain getting reacquainted with his wife.
Quincy, he saved the day.
I mean, Batman saved the day.
No, Freeze literally saved the day. He stopped the villain. Batman just talked to Mr. Freeze and begged for sympathy. Which, again, is still good. And see, that's the villain there, trapped under ice. Just like the Metallica song.
If I spent any more time in that immersion tank, I'd be growing gills.
And that was Deep Freeze. All right, so how did you feel about that episode?
Well, first of all, I think it had a good bat entrance, a different kind, because it is Mr. Freeze. Because everything to someone like Mr. Freeze, all icy, cold. So naturally, it's going to be slightly different. So, but I think the way they created this particular version of Mr. Freeze, I think we can give it an 8. What do you think?
I think so. I mean, everyone likes this version of Mr. Freeze because remember, because you see Mr. Freeze in like, the 60s version, right? He was just kind of like I'm going to make the world cold, Batman,
Well, that's what Mr. Freeze thinks he's going to do.
Yeah, but no, but like for this show, they decided to reinvent him so they have the crutch of him not wanting to be a villain. He's only doing this to save his wife, which is like how most versions of Mr. Freeze is done.
Yeah,
now.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Because like he didn't have the wife in the original version.
No, he didn't.
He was like the Riddler, the Joker, the Penguin, just like a person for Batman, to fight crime.
Well, they had like girls that who think that they were friends, but I think I can remember one like three-parter. Batman said to someone like, criminals don't have any friends except other criminals.
Yeah.
Well, he says, what is a lovely girl like you doing mixed up in a situation like this? Oh, he's my friend. Like, he doesn't have any friends except other criminals. And then I don't want to give away who it was because I know who it was. But the bottom line is, you help us, and we'll see to it you get credit on your sentencing. And that's just what she did.
So now I have that. So this is part 2 out of like a 5-part thing in the DC animated universe, right?
Right.
So you saw part 1 and you said it was really good. You saw part 2 and you also say you would argue this episode's also really good. Where do you think they would go for a 3rd episode?
Somewhere to try to freeze the city. And of course they're not going to make it. They think they're going to make it, but they're not. I guess the only thing I can give you was we'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see.
Villains can go all over the place, but remind you that the Cape Crusader is going to catch up to them, and they're going to apprehend the villain.
Now, do you appreciate the fact that they made Victor Freeze not a straight-up villain, but more of a victim of circumstance as a villain? Because, again, he does not want to be Mr. Freeze. If he had everything his way, his wife would be alive and he'd be a regular scientist.
It's a change of the villain, I'll give you that.
Do you think it's a positive change or a negative change?
A positive change. Who'd ever thought that a villain doesn't want to be, something's right. Namely, he didn't want to be a Mr. Freeze, but somehow we got roped into it.
So this season, and along with most Batman media in general, they really like to imply that the villains don't ever really want to be the villains. They're all victims of circumstance. Like this season, season 2, and we'll watch more episodes from the season, there's like 6 episodes where villains actually try to rehabilitate themselves into society after serving their jail sentence, and society shuns them. Like Harley Quinn, Clock King, the Riddler, they all try to be normal people, but society rejects them, right? Because even though they're trying to do the right thing. And this season, along with Mr. Freeze, they explore this concept a lot. Do you think the idea of Batman villains trying to rehabilitate themselves is an interesting topic?
I think it is. I think, like every villain, Batman, towards the end, deep down, it's like he wants to try to rehabilitate him. It sends him to a guy named Warden Crichton. And Warden Crichton, needless to say, is like a lot like Commissioner-in-Chief O'Hara back in the 60s. Like, thank you very much for bringing him in. Also, best I can give is like a simple thank you will do. It's like, so Warden Crichton talks to him and it's like, we want to try to rehabilitate the villain. Try to rehabilitate him, and because it's almost time for their time to be let out of jail, and then they always wind up back in there again, and it's like eventually they're not going to let them out anymore. They're going to serve life sentences. But that's the way the show was created. At least back in the 60s. And then, but eventually they're just going to be just in there forever. But that's the way these stories are written.
Of course.
But these villains, they're all different villains, has their own style of like doing no good to Gotham City. So Batman has to have like a solution to every single one of these villains. You have to wait and see what the problem is. and then Batman somehow will come up with a solution. And angry Robin will agree to it.
All right. So the third part of this 5-part thing is a movie called Batman Sub-Zero. We do not have time to watch a full movie right now. So I picked a second episode that's also more wintry themed from the same season called Bullet for Bullock, which is an episode that's going to take, I think takes place after Christmas but before New Year's Eve in the show. So it's very winter themed, and it's going to be focusing on Detective Bullock, the fat one who really likes the donuts but hates Batman.
All right, well, without further ado, we give you Bullet for Bullock. And there's good old Bugs Bunny. You can learn a lot from him.
A Bullet for Bullock. All right, we got the jazz coming in. Are you a jazz fan, Quincy?
A little bit.
Little bit? What's your favorite kind of jazz?
I don't know. I haven't really stayed much on jazz, but
How do you think he disappears like that?
I don't know.
Is he that fast?
Or the officer?
No, Batman.
Oh, that's just how he is. He disappears because
He's a ninja.
yeah, he knows what he's doing. Yeah, that's just how it is. The Cape Crusader.
Look at him tracking in mud.
Yeah.
Why is he so mad?
I told you, these villains are never happy. They're just dissatisfied.
So now he's paranoid that someone's out to kill him, even in his own home.
When you're a villain, yeah.
He's not a villain, he's a cop.
Yeah, but he's a bad cop from what you tell me.
No, it's more like he's, he's like Batman. He bends the rules a little bit. Look at him pigging out.
Yeah.
Is that what you do on a Saturday night? Pig out?
Well, have a few snacks.
He's having a few snacks too. Day-old pizza and warm soda. And look, now he's eating some donuts. From Dunked Donuts.
Yeah, how about that?
All right? He's out here pigging out.
Well, he's out there protecting the city, so you got to give him some credit.
Yeah, when he's off shift, he's pigging out.
Well, isn't the officer allowed to have coffee and donuts?
Well, do you think all officers should pig out? Oh, he got pushed to a train. Maybe the pigging out isn't a good idea.
Officers are out there protecting our city. You got to give them some credit. I don't think I would call it pigging out. They're out there like for 10 hours a day.
And they eat a whole pizza and some donuts too?
Well, let me put it this way. That coffee and donuts might be their only chance.
I don't think he was drinking coffee. Who drinks coffee with like a bendy straw in a soda cup? Oh, now he's mad that he lost the donuts.
Well, depends on what the officer likes.
What's really, like, what would be in it? See, that's coffee. Crack houses?
Yeah, apparently. Crack houses.
Batman in the crack house.
This is my life we're talking about here. Bats!
Did you expect to see Batman in a crack house this episode?
Not really, but he's in there for a good reason.
So we're doing a lot of detective stuff this episode.
Well, that's a good thing.
Do you like the more detective-y episodes?
Sometimes, yeah.
Especially when the focus isn't even on Batman, it's Bullock.
Right now they are.
So see, no one likes Bullock.
Yeah, not really.
No one likes Bullock. He lives in a crappy apartment. A taxi just drove by him. No one likes him. But it's okay, he has a better taxi now.
Nope.
Batman and Bullock team up. Did you expect this, Quincy?
No, but at least for the moment, it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said earlier, for once, at least they're working together. You know, it's the way it should be.
Of course.
Like I told you, Rob, I think they're very fortunate to have the Cape Crusader.
Could you believe that it was the landlord?
Yeah, it's pretty hard to believe, isn't it?
And there we go. That was a bullet for Bullock. What did you think about that Emmy Award-winning episode?
I think that needs a 10.
That needs a 10.
Yeah. He was fighting the Bullock. Now, the Bullock, I don't know, like, the way he treated the Cape Crusaders, like, I still think, but thanks anyway. It's like,
Mutual respect.
yeah. Do you think we'll see more of the Bullock?
Oh, Bullock's always in this show, but I don't know. There's one other episode I can think off the top of my head that's about Bullock and Montoya, and just them specifically. But Bullock's in like a bunch of episodes.
Well, I'm glad it turned out to a nice ending. Because first of all, as you can tell, I like nice endings.
Of course.
So at least this time anyway, it was a nice ending, for the Cape Crusader, let alone like the Bullock. If he thinks has a nice ending, well, then you have to be a nice cop, and you got to think like a cop.
Well, he wasn't a nice cop in the end. Remember that.
Yeah.
He's the bad cop if Gordon's the good cop. Not like bad like corrupt. I mean like, good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Bad cop, good cop, or good cop, bad cop.
Exactly.
Call it what order you want. If you're a bad cop, well, you saw it that some people didn't like him, and
Yeah, he made a lot of enemies.
well, then look at the good cop. You made a lot of good friends. It's like look, we just said ourselves, these villains, no one likes them, because why should we like a villain? Because they done wrong, and then it's like, it's kind of hard to get back on the good side. It's like you think like a criminal, then you're gonna get treated like a criminal. If you think and act like a guardian angel, then you're gonna get treated like a guardian angel. And that means like, in plain English, the Cape Crusaders, no matter who's or whatever years you pick, they're guardian angels, and the police department loves them.
Yeah.
That's how it is with Batman. So I think all in all, it was a good choice tonight.
Good choice tonight.
And I'm sure that whatever choice that the viewers pick is going to have another good choice.
Well, hold on, but we have breaking news. Breaking news, hot off the presses.
Hot off the press, breaking news.
Next episode, a brand new movie. Literally, it's not even out yet. By the time we record it, it'll be out. Freshly new.
Okay.
Our Christmas special, Merry Little Batman.
Merry Little Batman.
About how Batman has to go help the Justice League, and Joker tries to take over the town on Christmas. So his son Damian Wayne's going to stop him.
That ought to be interesting, really. The Cape Crusader in Christmas. I think it's unique and original, don't you?
Yep, I think so too. So that's what we're going to watch next episode, all right? So make sure to stay tuned, as some would say.
Until next time, same bat channel.